Hi guys, welcome back to yet another exciting video, another exciting episode of our financial series. I have been a little bit delayed because I was actually in my head about how I was gonna share about my payday routine without revealing my personal finances because I'm not comfortable to share that part of my life. What I did was there are a few people that I assist like on the low key with like a once-off payment just to help them with their finances like budgeting and whatnot. So I decided to reach out to one of my ladies. Her name is Selma, and she was more than happy for me to share her financial like journey. So maybe I will give you a brief background on who Selma is, and then I will take you along on her payday routine. It's exactly the same as mine. The Excel spreadsheet is exactly the same. I decided to print out the Excel spreadsheet or the financial, the 3 pages, right? There are 3 pages I'll show you now. Mostly because I didn't want to show you guys on a screen. I just wanted to do it old school, pen and paper, and show you guys. And most of you guys have also been asking about the Excel spreadsheet for me to share, and I don't really know how I should go about sharing it, but I'll try to figure out and I'll put it in the description box down below. So when you're done watching, you're welcome to download the Excel spreadsheet or whichever way I'm able to share the Excel spreadsheet with you guys. But yes, welcome back to yet another exciting video. My name is skaapehi. I am a Namibian YouTuber, and I'm so passionate about finances. I'm passionate about seeing people, especially women, set free in the area of finances. And it's so important for us to be a good steward of the resources that God has entrusted with us. So yes, I'm a big advocate of side hustles. If you've not watched my previous side hustle video idea yet, I will drop the video down in the description box down below for you guys to also just have a look and refresh your mind on those side hustle ideas. So let us get right into the video. Let us pretend that we are maybe in your bedroom, right? And you're comfortable, and you and I are literally just having a conversation about finances. In this video, I will be taking you guys through my payday routine. Obviously not using my exact amounts, right? But I'm using the amounts for Selma. A brief background: Selma is a single individual. She's not married. She doesn't have children. So obviously her expenses will differ. But for me, the idea of sharing this payday routine is for you guys to see the structure of how it's done. Her expenses and her income has nothing to do with, you understanding what a payday routine is. So before I start sharing, I printed it out, so I'm going to put it down here, and we're actually going to go through it bit by bit, section by section. I don't want this video to be too long. I want it to be straight to the point and try to give you guys as much information as possible. Things that I have in place, right? And Selma has exactly the same things that I have, because in terms of like the systems, right? Because I'm mentoring her in this area. I'm not, guys, when I say mentoring her, take it with a pinch of salt, because I've not arrived, but because I'm so passionate about finances, I'm willing to assist people to just, get their finances in order. So I share what I've learned thus far. Maybe my payday routine is maybe something that you cannot like relate to, and that is totally fine, because I'm still learning, I'm still growing, especially in terms of like places where I can actually save more. So my number one goal for next year is basically to be big on savings and to find like a place where I can really save more effectively. I've got 3 places that I save. Anyways, let us get started. The first part that we're going to start off with is basically her budget, right? But we're going to start off with deductions. Before the salary hits your account, right? There are deductions that are deducted from your payslip already before you get your income, right? So the deductions, Selma's deductions include her retirement fund, pay as you earn, her social security is also a deduction, and then finally her medical aid. So those are the 4 deductions that are like deducted from her gross salary before she gets her take-home salary. She gets a salary of 18,000 every month, right? But she has a side hustle that brings in 7,000 every month. So her total income is 25,000. In case you're wondering what side hustle she does to get 7,000 every month, is she tutors. Every Saturday she tutors 7 students, of which charges 1,000 per month, and she tutors them and assists them with physics and mathematics. So that's how she's able to have a steady income or steady side hustle of 7,000 for this whole year. Anyway, so let us get right into it. Oh, there are 3 sheets. So this is her budget. This is her yearly, / monthly savings challenge, and then these are her financial goals. So we're just going to start off with the first sheet, which is the financial management sheet. So this is in Excel, right? So once you jot down your income and all your expenses, it automatically calculates. That's what I love about this. And it has like the full year, so you can plan ahead. September, October, November, December. I just hit the other rows so that we can just zero in on September of 2025. As mentioned before, these are her deductions. The retirement fund, pay as you earn, social security, and her medical aid are deducted before she receives her income. It's so important to have a retirement fund. Most companies have that incorporated in your payslip. Once her deductions are out, we move on to her income. So her income is divided into 2. It's her salary, the one that she gets from her job, and then the side hustle amount, which is the 7,000. So the total of this is 25,000. So what she does is she just types in her income for the month, which is 25,000. So what I love about this is that, let's say next month she gets an extra 5k, I don't know, as a gift, maybe it's her birthday, or she gets, I don't know, whatever, or she has an extra income, or she works for something and she gets extra money. You can always change. That's why I love this Excel spreadsheet. You can foresee, if you know that, no, in November I'll get an extra 10k from somewhere, then you just add and it just automatically calculates for you. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the expenses. The first thing that she does is tithe 10%, and then she does her savings of 10%. I highly also recommend that you save 10% of your income if possible. So what she does, she saves before she because some people are like, okay, look, let me check my expenses and then what's left I will save. So one thing that I advise her is choose, if you're gonna save 5% of your salary, put it down. Don't first see, okay, let me see how much is left, then I'll save. So what she does immediately, she saves the 25,000, the 2,500, and then she moves on to her expenses. So this is like fixed. It's been fixed in her salary since January, or in her budget since January. Okay, so then the debit order that goes off in her account is 2,700. So the stop order, debit order, same thing. Let me explain what is incorporated in her stop order. So she has a life cover for $500 with Old Mutual, and then she has Wi-Fi that she pays per month for $400. She has a gym membership of $800 per month, and then she has debt that she's trying to pay off, to which she pays $1,000 per month. So the total of this is 2,700, which is her debit order. So once her debit orders are off, then she goes ahead and makes the payments. She pays her rent, which is 7,500. And I'm so proud of Selma, because before, Selma was living in a place that is like way beyond her means. So the rule of thumb is to not spend more than 30% of your total income towards accommodation. So this is exactly 30%. So she rents a place for 7,500. Her transport for the month it goes up to 2,500. She spends 1,000 for electricity, because it's prepaid electricity. Black tax, she sends money back home. She sends $1,000 every month to her family. And then beauty, she does either her hair or nails or whatever. She spends 500 on that. 130 for airtime. She told me that she does 2 super aways per month. Groceries, she spends 2,500. Bank charges, guys, it's so important in your budget to incorporate bank charges so that you can have a more accurate amount, right? So 300 for her bank charges. Leisure is 1,000. So leisure includes maybe eating out, or maybe she wants a specific top, she wants to buy a new jean, or whatever it is. She decides how much. So Selma spends $1,000 towards leisure. Health is 150. Every month she sets aside 150. You need to get something from the pharmacy, and there's a core payment because she has medical aid, right? The core payment, or maybe she goes to the doctor, to the practice, and then there's like a levy or whatever that she needs to pay. So she sets aside 150 towards that. So if she doesn't use it, she just puts it in an envelope. Actually, she actually withdraws this amount, puts it in an envelope, and then whenever she needs to pay any core payments, she takes from that envelope. So yeah, she spends 300 towards Christmas. So she's been setting aside 300 every month, and she has the, what are they called, the food stamps, right? Great. So now her total expense is 24,580, and she's left with 420 in her account, which is perfect because this 420 is just running cost that just stays, a buffer amount that just stays in her account. So this is her salary and how she goes about with her budget. Let's go back here. As you can see, she saves 2,500 every month, right? Same Excel spreadsheet, there's a tab for savings, monthly savings, right? And this is how much she's been saving. So every month she puts away 2,500, and now because it's September, this amount is now 22,500, and by December she will have a total of 30,000, right? And we'll explain now why she specifically wanted to save 30,000. And then Selma is getting a bonus in October. It's her birthday month, so she's gonna get double her salary. I quickly just want to pause and explain bonus money. I have a friend of mine, and yesterday when I was telling her about this video that I was like kind of like sharing with her what it is I'm gonna share with you guys, and she's telling me that, Sissy, you know what, nah, I get a bonus every year, but till today I can't tell what I've done with my bonus over the years. And I was just like, girl, that is crazy talk. And I was telling her how, for example, Selma, she's getting 18,000 in October because it's her birthday month, right? And the 18,000 is budgeted for accordingly. So once you get a bonus, right, the aim is not to splurge. I know it's a birthday treat. It doesn't mean you should spend like and go crazy. Maybe if you're at a level financially where you're able to do that, then yeah, go ahead, right? Or you can just set out a portion of the budget for just like enjoyment. But if you have goals and you're like, nah, maybe I have debt, I want to tackle debt, or maybe I have this, I want to tackle this, rather do that. What I like to do with my bonus is to take one of my expenses, right, and then pay in advance for the rest of the year. So what I do, for example, when I get my bonus money in January, because my birthday is in January, when I get my bonus money in January, I like to buy groceries in bulk, right, for the like next 6 months or something like that. That means that I know that I'll just add on during the month, and I don't have to buy like macaroni, I don't have to buy rice, so I go to Metro, and then I just go ahead and spend like even 4,000 or 5,000 or 6,000 of my bonus, and then I buy things that I know that during the year I will not suffer. My groceries are sorted. I buy toilet paper in bulk. I do this in bulk. I don't know if you guys have seen one of my videos where I've bought food in bulk after my birthday month. So yeah, these are the things that I do. So with Selma, she will get $18,000 because that's her monthly salary. So she's getting $18,000 towards her bonus, and she's decided she's gonna pay off debt because she has a specific debt that she's been paying off. Remember that figure? Wait, let me show you guys. Part of her stop orders, she's got 1,000 that goes off towards debt. So every month she pays 1,000, but because of her bonus, she wants to pay off the debt, right? October she would have she would have already paid majority of her debt, and so she decided, you know what, I'm going to take 5,000 and pay off this debt. Then I know I will not have this debit order. She will not have that debit order of that $1,000. So that is in terms of debt. And then she's going to invest in a second side hustle. And trust me, this is my influence. I'm like, girl, you need a second side hustle. So she said she's going to set aside 5,000 towards a second side hustle that she wants to start. And then she's going to take 2,000 for an emergency fund. I advised her that, girl, you need an emergency fund. If something happens and you need money like immediately, you need to have an emergency fund. So I told her at least put $2,000 towards an emergency fund. What is left is now 6,000. She decided like she can either use that money towards food, buy food in bulk, the non-perishables and cosmetics. You know, you can buy these things for the whole year. So I think that's what she's going to do with the $6,000. Or she can decide to take one of these expenses, these monthly expenses. She can decide, look, every month I spend 500 towards beauty. So I'll just take that and then I'll pay for the next 6 months, and then I know that this is not going to be in my budget. So recap on her bonus. She's going to take 5,000 and she's going to pay off the debt that she owes, which will also clear up an expense in her monthly budget. And she's going to invest in a second side hustle, which will in turn also increase her monthly income. She's going to have an emergency fund of $2,000, which I feel like is a good start. It's better than having no emergency fund. And then she's going to spend 6,000 towards buying in bulk, grocery, cosmetics, and things like that. So just to cut off expenses in the months to come as well. And this 30,000 of savings excludes the bonus money. The bonus money, she is not part of her monthly saving. So she will have 30,000 by the end of the year. All right, which brings us now to the last part of the video, which is her 2025 financial goals. So every year, right, I advise that you set yourself financial goals, right? I know sometimes it sounds, even when you see these things, you'll be like, how can she afford? But if you have a plan and you break it down, it will make sense. So Selma's financial goals are: save for a down payment for a car because she wants to buy a car. So by the end of the year, remember we said she would have saved 30,000. So this is the 30,000 that she will use as a down payment for her car. She'll have the Christmas food stamps of 3,600 based on the 300 that she sets aside every month, right? By December, it will amount to 3,600. And then she's going to pay off her debt by October, as we already discussed, which was a full debt of 14,000. So that will be paid off. And then she wanted to also start gymming this year. So that's why she budgeted 800 per month towards that, which wasn't in her budget in 2024. But since she said she's going to be a gym girly this year, that's why this 800 she had planned right at the beginning of the year. Another financial goal is that she wanted to automate her savings. She said she wanted to save 10% of her salary, which is 2,500, but she wants to automate it, which she still hasn't. I think it's something that she's probably going to still do. Automated, it means set a debit order every month so that you don't have to think about saving. So the moment your salary comes in, 10% is already deducted towards your saving and you don't have to think about savings. I feel like this is a great tool, and I believe that every single person who wants to take their savings seriously need to automate their savings so that it will help with decision fatigue. I just wanted to show you the food stamps that Selma also uses and that I also use. So this is a ShopRite food stamp, but it's like you can buy from ShopRite or Checkers. I prefer to buy it in Checkers. So it's this. When I make this booklet full, it's $4,000. So I'm just gonna have one for December, so that when I go home, I have money that I can spend without needing to like, oh my word, I need to go buy Christmas food or Christmas drinks or whatever. I can buy whatever I can purchase. In fact, I can even buy some Christmas gifts from Checkers, like if I need to, right? So this is how it looks. So far, I think I've only saved almost half of it, but I have a plan, right? Like, we always have a plan. We command our finances way to go. A few last pointers regarding payday routine. One thing that I always do as well, I believe in tithing. So I tithe and I do it for God. I do it for His kingdom to be expanded. That's just a decision, and I strongly believe in it. But apart from tithing, as soon as I get my salary, I pray over it and I declare the word of God over it. And I pray, Father, for favor. Even when I go to the shops, I'm like, God, I pray for favor. I pray for sales. I pray for this and that. I pray for open doors, things like that. So it's so important to take your finances and be a good steward of it, but also just pray over your finances. Don't just like, oh, the salary came in, the first thing you do is you're running to KFC. It's fine to run to KFC, but at least command your money, pray over your money, and just pray that you are self-disciplined, that you've got direction, and that you are going to be a good steward this month of the resources. It's also important to have an aspect where you are able to give back in some way, shape or form, financially, or if you have old clothes. You know, it's so important to be generous, to not just be someone who's like, oh, I need all this money for myself, but like also try to give back. Also try to set a budget for that if your budget obviously allows, or if you can't financially give back with your time. You can volunteer, you can help, and just be a generous person in that regard. One thing about me that I live by is that every dollar has to have a name and direction, because I feel like if I don't plan my finances and I don't have a budget, or I don't sit down and plan like, okay, this is the plan. In fact, my budget is already set till the end of the year. Like, it's set. Like, I already know how much I'm going to get. If I get extra, I will just click amend it and just change it. But that's why I really love this Excel spreadsheet. I can plan for next year, because next year, for example, I won't have a specific payment that I'm making this year because I'm finishing it off by December. So come next year, my finances are more clear, and I'm like, I already know. Now I have an extra amount that is opening up. What is going to happen? Because if I don't plan, then that amount will come in. Next thing you know, like, I'm just spending. I don't have a plan for my finances. So I think that is so important. Command your money where to go. Tell your money that, hey, $1,000, you are actually for transport. So if that $1,000 is in your hand, you are spending it for transport. One thing that I'd like to add is that if you don't plan for leisure, you are actually just lying to yourself, because chances are you do go out to eat, or if you don't go out to eat, you do spend money on miscellaneous things. Or let's say someone invites you like for ice cream, at least you have to have like a 200, or just to also put your food, like, spend or have money for, or maybe for example this month my son's school bag just broke, and I'm just like, bruh, I didn't plan on buying him a school bag, but because I have extra money that is assigned for like leisure, I can take from my leisure because I didn't go out this weekend, or I didn't spend on leisure, and I have that extra 200, I can go in the shop and easily go buy this a school bag. So I think it's just so important to be faithful with where you are. And if you're living above your means, it's so important to downgrade, especially when it comes to things like rent, right? If your rent is like way too expensive and your salary is like, if you're spending like, let's say 60% of your salary on rent, I'd just be like, no, for a season, move out and go rent a 1-bedroom instead of a 2-bedroom, or get a roommate and get that extra income. So I think it's so important to really think about your finances in a sober way. It shouldn't be this thing that is like, oh my word, it's payday, it's just like this little bird that just comes and eat my money, and the next thing I know, I don't have anything. It shouldn't be like that. It should be like a joyous thing where you're like, you know what, it's payday and I have a plan, I have savings. Even if you're just saving 500 a month, or even if you're just saving 200, you are saving. It's just, you need to teach your mind how to save. You need to discipline yourself to save, to have money that is set aside, and it's always important to save towards a specific goal. For example, Selma wanted to save towards a down payment for her car for the end of the year. That's a good goal. Or if you want to save for a holiday, you want to go on a solo trip, or you want to save it, you're saving towards your birthday, you want to do a whole photo shoot, you want to have a birthday party, so you have to set money aside for that. So yeah, I think I've really spoken a lot. But if I've left something out, I'll definitely share in the videos to come. But I honestly really wanted to just share and have an idea of how you're able to budget, or what you do on payday without it getting too much in your head, right? And one thing again that I'll say, if you don't have a side hustle, girl, my friend, my guy friend watching this sit down video, what are you doing? How do you not have a side? How do you serve? So you just like I'm just thinking, so you come home from work and you just relax. That's all you do. Like you don't have you have no ambition to have a side hustle. I don't know. I feel like the only people who can afford a side not having a side hustle, maybe if you're married to a rich man and he provides for all your needs, or I don't know, or like even so, don't you want to be that wife or that wife that says, okay, babe, this month my salary is this month, but I also managed to sell this and that, and this is how much I'm bringing to the table. I feel like there's just like a sense of accomplishment when you have something to bring to the table instead of just being cared for or whatever. So yeah, as women, let us really take our finances seriously, and especially if you're still a student. I used to have budget as a student because I had to pay for my Imona, and I've also learned to like grow with my finances. So which means that when I just graduated, I was staying in a one room, right? I rented out a 4-bedroom house. I think some of you guys know the story. I rented out a 4-bedroom house, subleased the other 4 with obviously with like with an agreement with the owner, right? So he knew I was doing this, so subleased the other rooms and then had one room for myself. And then I moved to a bachelor where it was just like the size of my room. This was so it was my bed, my little kitchen on the side, a little toilet, and that was it. And then I moved to a 1-bedroom, and then I moved to a backyard 2-bedroom before I moved to like a house, you know. So like you need to grow with your finances. You cannot just graduate and say immediately, bam, I want to stay in a 2-bedroom house, because, you know, think, like, use your head, like try to live within your means, because if you're faithful with a little, God will bless you with more. He will multiply your finances. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any tips, any questions, please comment down below. If you've enjoyed this video, please put a money emoji in the comment section down below so that I also know you've made it to the end of this video. And please share some financial tips and tricks, or what you like to do on payday. And it's so important to pay yourself first by saving. I feel like that's like paying yourself, and set money aside for leisure, to spoil yourself. Like if you love flowers, you can buy yourself flowers, or if you know you've worked so hard and just enjoy ice cream on payday, do that because you've budgeted for it. But do it having had a plan. Do it with a plan in mind. Don't just start spending and then, oh, how much is left that I can save? Be in charge of your finances. Take charge of your finances. Yeah, I'm so glad that I got to share this video with you guys. If you guys enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up, because it helps YouTube share my videos to more people. Because I see sometimes you guys watch but you don't like the other video. I think it has like 12,000 views, but like only 2,000 likes. So if as soon as you're done, or even as I'm speaking, like this video, it really helps my channel. Comment down below some of the things that you do on payday, and I will see you guys in the next episode of our financial series. Love you guys so much. Bye.